Hello, World of Tank Blitzers, it's Littlefinger, and oh my god, the Smasher has shown up in my garage. Yeah, that's right, I've been talking about it over the past couple days, and based upon your comments, I decided to go ahead and make this purchase. If you click in the top right corner under the shopping cart, go to bundles, you will see here it is for sale for 6 more days for $30, and I thought this was steep for a tier 7 collector tanks. But I was persuaded, based upon your comments, to go ahead and purchase, even though rumors are flying that it's going to get nerfed. So let me just show you real quick. I've only played 3 games in this, full disclosure. Obviously, I have been top tier every game. I do want to do a detailed full tank review on this, but I definitely want to go ahead and play some more games, especially as bottom tier. But for now, we will jump into the replay section, and I just want to go over these last 3 games and just show you my first impressions of this tank. So here you are, Lost Temple, Supremacy, and you know, I think someone calls out that they're going to go to C here in a second. Sorry, I'm just doing this all live without doing any editing, so I'm not going to go ahead and fast forward. And sure enough, there's the call to C as a tank that's shooting primarily HE. That is fine with me. More likely to find the soft, squishy tanks on this side. So here we are, rolling up to C. Rest of the team's coming with us. I really like this. Love to see teams working together. B25 is going to get a big shock here in a second. Now, first note, 0 aim, snapshot. Obviously, we didn't hit it straight on, but 394 damage, and we basically stopped him in his tracks, and then he was taken out of the game real quick. So the downside to this strategy is B and A are much easier to defend. You're in the high point, and we've got to climb our way up this hill. So I'm hoping the BP there gets up there and gets some spots in when I notice that they've already come all the way around to our spawn. VK 2801. Ooh, I would love to get some HE into the side of that. Can I be so lucky? Keep in mind, I've loaded this with calibrated shells. There it is, 795. I've got 94 pen with HE, with an average damage of 960. Yeah, you heard that. You've got almost 100 mil of pen doing 960 damage. Now I'm just trying this out. HE on that, 285 on the other Smasher. With AP, you've got pen of 147, and I realize he's under 550, and so my average damage there is 640 on the AP and 545 on the Heat, which is your premium ammo. And you can see that was an awfully quick game, and yet we still managed to squeak out 2,000 damage. And I say squeak out because this was my lowest scoring game. We did clear all 3 missions, so we ended up with 93,000 in credits there. Obviously, top damage on the team. So now let's skip over to Castilla. Again, top tier. We got a lot of heavies over here, TDs. And the comment calls right and goes to spot at the lighthouse, which I was fine with. I do some bad driving here, so please ignore this. This tank does not have the power to get up the hill this way. And then I got afraid that I was going to slide down and get stuck by the building. So kind of aborted that idea, and I go around the building. So just real quick, some of these numbers: damage per minute with HE, 3,533. Again, 94 pen, 960 alpha. Heat, 2,000 damage per minute, 275 pen. That pen is going to really save your bacon, I think, at tier 8. Now, I switch over to HE, which was kind of a dumb move here, because that shot goes into the tracks. Now, remember, guys, tracks serve as spaced armor. We know heat explodes on the first contact, and as that acts as spaced armor, I did 0 damage. So, had I aimed a little bit higher, obviously would have done splash damage on the side there. So that was a bad decision on my part with shell type. And that's always been my concern with a tank like this that's got 16.5 second reload. But you can see black prints across the map shooting heat. The nice thing about HE and heat is you don't lose pen over distance. So keep that in mind when you are choosing your equipment. We've taken out 2 tanks, and I figure there's only one more over here. And so I do decide to push a little bit. My heavies on this side took a little beating getting up there to the windmill. So I want to go ahead and get some spots in when I come across an AMX. We know this got no armor on the side. Look at that, 932. And of course I had support behind me. And so, yeah, poor AMX here. And now I'm getting shot from the left side, and I see the KV-1S. Got HE loaded, trying to get in the front. Must have hit the tracks again and do 0 damage. So we've left points, damage points, obviously, with a couple of these choices we made from shots. But one of the things I really want to show is 515 heat into an AT8. With a normal KV2, that shot could have completely missed that tank altogether, and yet we were able to aim in on that hatch and finish him off quite quickly. Now this T-34 2GFT is a tank that I'm currently playing. I just recently reviewed the tank below it. Look at that. We just snapshot that in. Call coming in. I'm going to go ahead and pause this. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Expecting some electricians to come to the house today. So anyway, 2208 damage. Again, top of the heap there in damage. That 2GFT did pretty good himself. But anyway, let's jump into this third and final game. Another supremacy. A lot of heavies and TDs. Wow. Look at this. KV-1S, T-29, KV-2. TD galore. So I'm just curious to know, which way these tanks are going. So you can see here, I'm going to wait a little bit. KV-1S, which way are you going? T-29, which way are you going? Eventually we all head to sea. But one of the things I will say, with the Smasher, I haven't been hung out to dry yet in the sense that the team has not just completely left me behind. And I would say if you do have a Smasher on your team, it would be very wise of you to stick with that tank and try to keep it in the game as long as possible. When you've got a tank that can do 500 to 900 damage every shot, obviously it's a tank worth keeping around. And my initial reaction here is, you look at this, even on the T-29 that comes around the corner here, I'm not going to do much splash damage, so I'm going to switch over to heat and go right through the middle there, 502. And you can see this is not the aim time of a KV-2. So I don't think it's going to troll you as much. Probably should have switched over to AP there, but did not want to miss my shot on the side of that VK coming through. Might even have been able to pen with HE. But again, you know, one of the things I like about this tank is you can spam heat. And you are going to have a good game if you do that. We've taken 3 shots, 1,500 damage. I see this Hellcat up here. I know this guy has got 0 for armor. So I've preloaded HE. And we're just going to aim for the back of him. There we go, 636. Thank you very much. Do we have time to get one more shot in on these 2 heavies? Switch back over to heat. And we'll take the 238, finish him off, and then just back away. So, through those 3 games, you didn't see any issues with the aim. Everything was on target. No issues with pen. I did make a few bad choices. And I spammed heat that game, and yet I still walked away with 33,000 in credits, and that's without any sort of bonuses on that. So, the initial outlook looks very positive for this tank. But again, I'm going to do a much more detailed in-dive review coming up after I've played quite a few more games, and especially after being bottom tier. So, with that being said, guys, have fun out there. Stay safe, get educated. Not fingered. Littlefinger out.